Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial on how to prepare corn tortillas from scratch. We're not going to use the store-bought corn flour. Instead, I'm going to show you how to prepare it using dry corn. The dry corn, you can find it in your favorite Mexican grocery store or at your favorite swap meet. These, we were lucky enough to find them at our local swap meet, but not all swap meets carry this, so you might want to check with your local Mexican markets to see if they carry it. The most common types of corn used to prepare corn tortillas are the white ones and the blue corn. But there's also other types of corn like the purple, the red, and the yellow corn that you can also use to prepare tortillas. To demonstrate the preparation, today I'm going to use a batch of the white corn. And using the exact same process as we're going to do for the white corn, I'm also going to prepare a batch of white hominy. The hominy I'm not going to use to prepare tortillas. Instead, I'm going to place it in freezer-safe bags and freeze it and use it as needed when I prepare pozole or menudo. Although the hominy and the white corn are the same color, you can tell them apart because the hominy is a lot larger than the regular corn. And here we have the blue corn. You can find all these types of corn at your favorite Mexican grocery store, or you can also find them on Amazon. You can also find the hydrated lime at your favorite Mexican grocery store or online. To prepare 4 cups of the dry corn, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of hydrated lime, which is about 1/3 of a cup. For best results, you'll want to start the day before. Place the 4 cups of corn into a large bowl, then fill it up with water. Using your hands, move the corn around to wash the corn, and repeat the process until the water is completely clear. Then fill it up with enough water to where the corn is completely submerged in the water, and allow it to soak for 12 hours or overnight. You can also begin to boil the corn kernels right after rinsing them, but soaking it for at least 12 hours is going to give you better results, and it's also going to cut down on the cooking time. Before we begin to boil the corn, we're going to give it one final rinse. To boil the corn, I'm going to use an 8-quart Dutch oven pan, but you can use any other heavy-bottom stock pot. Add in the hydrated lime and mix until it's completely dissolved in the water. Turn on the burner to high heat and then add in the corn. If you soak the corn overnight, the cooking process should take about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. Almost immediately after adding the corn into the hydrated lime, the corn turns into a beautiful yellow color. The pot began to boil around 7:51. Once it begins to boil, we're going to turn it down to medium heat. We're going to leave it boiling for about an hour without the lid, and then we're going to come back and check on it. The corn has been boiling for a little bit under an hour. At this point, we're going to remove one of the kernels, and using a fork, we're going to gently press down on the kernel to see if it's completely cooked. The kernel does break down easily, but in the middle it's still a little bit white. Therefore, we're going to boil the corn for an additional 15 minutes. Then we're going to turn it off and cover it and wait for it to completely cool down before moving on to the next step. After boiling the corn for an additional 15 minutes, and after letting it cool down, I'm going to remove one of the corn kernels. For this one, I'm not going to use the fork. I'm just going to break it down with my fingers. And as you can see, it breaks down very easily. At this point, the corn is now ready, so we can move on to the next step. First, we're going to thoroughly rinse the corn. This part is very important because you want to rinse away the hydrated lime that we used to prepare the corn. Rinse it 3 to 4 times or as many times as needed until the water is completely clear. Once our corn is clean, it is time to turn this corn into masa. For that process, you can use a molinillo or a metate like this one. But this one is a lot of work and it takes a lot of muscle to turn the corn into masa. Instead, we're going to prepare the masa using a food processor. The 4 cups of corn that we use rendered for quite a bit of corn. So if you have a lot of corn, you'll want to prepare it in several batches. Don't fill it up too much, otherwise it's going to take a lot longer to process. And if it does get a little bit dry during the process, you can add a little bit of water at a time. And if you want to add salt to your tortillas, at this point you can also add a little bit of salt. As you can see, this process is fairly easy to prepare, but it does take a little bit of time. Prepare larger batches and freeze the corn and use it as needed whenever you need to prepare homemade corn tortillas. Preparing the corn in the food processor was so much more quicker, and as you can see, the masa came out perfectly soft. At this point, you can use it right away, or you can wrap it in plastic, refrigerate it, and use it as needed throughout the day, so you can enjoy fresh homemade corn tortillas with every meal. But I'm not done quite yet. I'm going to prepare a few corn tortillas so you can see the result. We're going to take a small amount of the masa in our hand and shape it into about the size of a ping pong ball. Using a tortilla press, I'm going to line both sides of the tortilla press with plastic. Then we're going to take one of the balls of dough or the testales and place it right in the middle of the plastic. Place the other half of the plastic over the testal and gently press down until you have the shape of your tortilla. Peel off the top layer of the plastic and place it over the palm of your hand to remove the other half. Very carefully place it on the comal and cook for about 30 to 45 seconds on the first side. Flip it and cook for an additional minute on the second side. Flip one last time. Once your tortilla begins to puff up, your tortilla is ready to enjoy with your favorite dishes. Depending on what part of the country or the world you live in, it can be very hard to find authentic homemade tortillas. By preparing the masa yourself, you can enjoy authentic homemade tortillas any time of the day or week. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, give me a thumbs up. Share with your friends and family so they don't miss out on future recipes like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to join us in our next video where we will be sharing another delicious recipe.